Coming into this year, Cooper Flagg was destined to struggle. He's currently the youngest player in the NBA. The Mavs offense is still in shambles trying to recover from the Luka trade. To no surprise, AD's been out. Plus, they're also missing Kyrie Irving. But despite this team having all these issues, I'm still surprised about how bad the Mavs offense actually is. About a quarter of the way through the season, they right now have the worst offensive rating in the NBA. Again, I don't think anybody was expecting this team to even have a top 20 offense. But dead last to me is pretty surprising. And with Cooper's current role, he's pretty much being set up to fail. Now to start this year, there was a lot of controversy about Cooper playing the point, and this to me was kind of overblown. Sure, Flagg isn't a traditional point guard, but there's a really big core problem with this roster, and that's a severe lack of advantage in shot creation, which was especially the case with AD being out. Outside of Flagg, who else can create sustainable offense on this team? I don't think it's D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Williams, or Ryan Nembhard. So if you're not creating breakdowns at the point of attack for Flagg to capitalize on, it doesn't really matter what position he's playing. And the thing is, outside of Kyrie and AD, I think Cooper right now is the Mavs' best on-ball creator. First, out of pick and roll, his ball security and pace is already pretty advanced. He can put his man in jail and find the open spots to navigate into, keep his dribble alive and find space when dealing with double teams, plus use that frame to attack the defense's body and get into the mid-range. And while coming downhill, Flagg does have good tools as a slasher. He's got a pretty good burst off the dribble, and he's also not afraid of contact once he gets in the lane.
Coop turns the corner.
And that blend of size and skill also makes Flagg a mismatch problem. Portland here is going to switch the screen with Denny Avdija, and Cooper just transfers right into a post-up and bumps him down for this rhythm jump hook. So as an off-the-dribble scorer and creator, I think Flagg already has a lot of good elements. But again, when looking back at the Mavs roster, there's just too many things pulling him underwater. Along with his team's lack of ball handling, there's also no outside shooting. As a team this year, Dallas has the worst 3-point percentage across the league. And this makes it really easy for teams to load up towards the ball and force Cooper to play in crowds. Whenever he's operating in pick and roll or isolation, he always has to deal with 2 or 3 levels of defense. As he comes off the screen here, look how the entire defense collapses. Same thing here. Cooper's trying to play in the post, and the entire defensive floor shifts towards him. Now with plays like these, it is possible to nitpick and say that his weak side passing has to get better, or he should find more spots in the mid-range. But the guy is still 18, and things like this aren't going to be that polished yet. And the bigger issue for Cooper in Dallas is that all those spacing issues also follow him when he's playing off the ball. And this again comes back to Dallas not having another guy who can bend the defense. So even when playing off the catch, Flagg still has to deal with multiple levels of defenders. Take this play for example. He's going to catch the skip pass here in the opposite corner. And even after beating his initial man, the backline defense is proactively rotating. This was initially a really good play, where Gaffer finds Flagg on this backdoor cut, but the backline defense is again sitting and waiting. And then even if the Mavs try to get Cooper space with set actions, it's still very hard for them to overcome their lack of shooting. They're going to try to get him momentum here with the ball, by having him come off this pin down and run off this handoff. But again, because there isn't elite spot up shooting on the weak side, it's easy for the gap defense to dig down and shrink the floor. So in essence, that's why playing Cooper Flagg at the point or on the wing doesn't really make a big difference. Because at the end of the day, with Dallas' lack of shooting and creation around Cooper, he's always going to be stuck playing with the ball and creating offense from a standstill. And while Flagg does have a lot of upside as a prospect, his game is still very much in the developmental phase. If he's dealing with multiple defenders when he gets below the arc, he is prone to coughing it up. And as a primary ball handler, the passing reads do need to get sharpened up. But probably the biggest issue with Flagg's game right now is going to be his outside shooting. At the NBA level, Flagg right now is not a good 3-point shooter. I don't think the shot is broke, and he does have the potential to steadily get better. But right now, it's not where it needs to be. Defenses are fine with giving him space and letting him rise up for uncontested jumpers. And that issue for him really is magnified when the rest of your team also can't shoot. So what ends up happening is that Coop starts to force the issue more and more below the arc, which leads to more turnovers and tough shots in traffic. In general, I'm also not a fan of how the Mavs offense is functioning from a bird's eye view. It's been just lots of pick and rolls and dribble handoffs, and to me it looks like the exact same offense from 2 years back with Luka and a healthy Kyrie. I don't think this team has the talent to have a vanilla kind of offense. In general, they need to get players more active and generate more organic shots, because having both no off-ball activity with no top-tier on-ball talent isn't going to be a recipe for success. So again, because of Dallas' lack of on-ball creation, outside shooting, and them not creating breakdowns off the ball with screening and cutting, Cooper pretty much has an uphill battle every night. He's tasked as the team's primary ball handler, he has to deal with defenses shrinking the floor, and the Mavs don't have the personnel or tools to get him easy looks off the ball. Now, I do think many of these issues will get fixed with Kyrie back in the lineup. Obviously, that will take a lot off his shoulders, but it will also give Flagg more opportunities to attack space off the catch. I think Flagg already has the tools to be a really good second side attacker, and if he gets the opportunity to attack into gravity, he's going to be a handful to deal with. I would love to see more plays like this, where the defense gets pulled across towards the ball, and Flagg from the wing gets this runway towards the basket.
And now Cooper.
Now in the short term, with AD back in the lineup, I do think that will help Cooper in some spots. At the very least, he's somebody else who can pull rotations towards the ball and put them in a scramble. He may not be a top tier passer across the league, but he at least gives Dallas something else to work off of. And AD's also a really good screener and roller. While Gafford and Lively are more vertical lob threats, Davis can both play above the rim and stop short to sink these soft push shots. And going forward, I hope Dallas will also weaponize AD's off-ball gravity more. I like this play here, where him trailing behind pulls the Lakers' size out of the paint, and Coop can work off this quick cross screen in the paint for an easy catch and finish. But at the same time, I don't think Davis is enough to address Dallas' core issues. He's not a consistent outside shooter, and the face-up game has always been inconsistent. In isolation, AD for sure has the juice to generate some points, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to carry a legit offense. And I think Cooper is going to most likely be dealing with a lot of the same issues. The paint is going to be crowded, and the ball is going to be in his hands with him having to create from a standstill. I think until Kyrie is officially back, it's going to be a non-stop struggle for both Cooper and the Mavs offense.